Dear friends, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Chairman Sir, it's really a great honor and privilege for me to be here today on the occasion of 7th MEPICON 2020 in Patinda. At the outset, I express my gratitude to Dr. Vital Gupta for giving me this opportunity to interact with you on a very important need-based subject today in the COVID era, pharmaco-invasive approach in STEMI. Next, we see the STEMI scenario. Next, we see here the STEMI scenario, which is to show that India has 3 million patients of STEMI every year and 400 millions are below the poverty line. Timely, cost-effective intervention is the need of the hour and should be the protocol during the COVID era. Next, we can see here the burden of STEMI is very high, is rising steeply in our country. India is the world capital of STEMI today. Next, the mortality and morbidity is very well known to you. We see the mortality is high in STEMI versus non-STEMI, and the re-MI rate is also high, and the stroke rate is also higher in the STEMI as compared to non-STEMI. Next slide, please. Why thrombolytic therapy in STEMI is a point of discussion. Next slide. We see here challenges of the STEMI care in India and the real world. Where to use? Because from the site of the issue up to the hospital and door to needle time and door to balloon time are quite late in India, and there is no proper protocol. Lack of awareness, lack of interpretation, poor transport, and PCI is possible only in 10% of patients. In a country like India, the consensus is TNK first, followed by PCI in 3 to 24 hours, especially in the COVID era, as per the guidelines of CSI released this year. Next, see the problem encountered in the Indian scenario: overcrowded. Next, problems encountered even in villages. We see there is overcrowding everywhere. So it's not possible for a patient to reach to the hospital for a primary PCI, especially in the COVID era when there are so many lockdowns and so many restrictions. So I think pharmacokinetic approach is accepted worldwide as the therapeutic approach of choice in STEMI during COVID era. If you want to reduce the door-to-door time, I think we should not waste our time going to a GP, and we should not spend much time on the road. Call the ambulance immediately, get the ECG, and quickly, once it's diagnosed by the Heart Command Center, give the TNK right at home or at the site of STEMI or in the ambulance, and bring the patient straight away to the emergency. And if the patient reaches an emergency, directly give thrombolytic therapy in the form of TNK and prepare the patient to go for a cath lab in 3 to 24 hours once we have COVID test negative. Next, STEMI guidelines are very important by ACC or AHA or EAC or even CSI. Guidelines are not guidelines, we all should know. They vary from individual to individual. There is a huge gap in the clinical practice. Time is highly critical, and time is muscle, we all know it. And the mortality rate is very high. If you see the mortality is 9%, it can be reduced if you follow pharmacokinetic approach as documented all over the world. Next, we see here why pharmacokinetic approach. Because TNK may abort MI, may make larger to a smaller MI, transmural to a subendocardial MI, prevent re-MI and extension, and the primary PCI is available only 10%. The golden hour for TNK is superior as compared to PCI, and I think the mortality rate is very important. 7.5% mortality in each 30 minutes delay by PCI. Sometimes the cath lab are busy or the technical issues are there, so I think the best thing is to give the benefit of time thrombolytic therapy. Recommendation of ACC and AHA in non-COVID era also show that bolus treatment with TNK in STEMI gives better results. Next, we see here the STEMI care is threefold: a rapid diagnosis, early reperfusion, irrespective whether it's a primary PCI or it is a TNK. We know that primary PCI is the gold standard, but in lieu of time, which I mentioned to you is a muscle, it is better to have any reperfusion strategy because the success rate is almost same and they are the pillars of success. Next, we see here the myocardium, the wavefront start from mid myocardium to endocardium and become transmural. Next, we see here early reperfusion, the better are the results, more delay is the reperfusion, more are the problems, and TNK can be given just as a bolus, just in 30 seconds. And I think it has got a huge reperfusion success, which I'll be showing you in the next few slides. Next, what is the main agenda? The main agenda of my presentation in the next slide is to highlight the efficacy and safety of pharmacology approach and to assess the clinical success of thrombolysis and to evaluate the morbidity and mortality benefit and to assess the benefit versus hazards, which is very important. Next, we see here the journey of TLT in STEMI. It is existing since 1933 and it's 2020 now. It's very pretty long time. And we see here next one, the original TLT started somewhere in 1861, 1854. When the first description of coronary thrombosis was given in 1912 by Harrison, and then the Dillett was there who discovered the streptokinase in 1933, and Dr. Saul-Sherry was the one who used streptokinase for the first time in human in 1949. Next, origin of TLT, we see here, it is the Fetcher in USA and Saul-Sherry in USA. They gave first IV streptokinase in acute myocardial infarction in 1958. Next slide. In India, our group was the first. You can see here, we gave first streptokinase in evolving MI, published in Indian Heart Journal, 1984, and then we published the data in 1990, showing 6 months to 36 months of follow-up after streptokinase. Next, and this is the origin of TLT, historical milestone by William Gans, Swan, P.K. Shah, and T.S. Burman from Los Angeles, from the University of California, published in American Journal of Cardiology somewhere in 1984. And this is how we see here. I moved to USA and worked in this project with Sir William and Gans for 3 years, and we've shown that IV TP at that time is superior as compared to streptokinase, and IV TP and STEMI was also shown to be superior in 86 and 87 by a lot of data which I published in the United States along with Dr. Naveen Sidanta. And we see here the historical milestone from 1984 to 2015 in Belgium, in Canada, and Canon from USA have also shown in a circulation in New England Journal of Medicine that TLT is superior as compared to as compared to the PCI in view of time salvaging the jeopardized myocardium. Next slide. And we see here the historical milestone was further substantiated by our colleagues from India, Dr. Satyamurthy, Dr. Iyer, Tani Nair, J. Siramat, T. Alexander, and Ajit Murashri, and they've shown in the registry data published in Indian Heart Journal that it has got a huge potential as compared to pharmacology approach, especially in India. Pre-hospital thrombolysis is far superior. 30-day mortality of pre-hospital thrombolysis is less than primary PCI, and the time delay you can see here is taken care of by early thrombolysis as compared to primary PCI. Next, early TLT is superior to late PCI more than 1 hour, as recommended by ACC and AHA somewhere in 2003. Next, timely reperfusion is better than the choice of reperfusion. So it's a time more important than which methodology we use. Untimely primary PCI has a worse prognosis than a timely TLT, and untimely TLT has a poor prognosis than the timely PCI. TNK studies, they use data to show in the West trial in 2006 that TNK is superior than primary PCI in 30 days mortality as well as MI and re-MI, cardiogenic shock. The data very favorable with TNK. There is not much of difference as compared to primary PCI. CAPTAIN trial has also shown that pre-hospital thrombolysis within 2 hours is superior to primary PCI, whether it is 1 month or 1 year or 5-year data. TNK registry data in STABI, next slide, has shown the reasons for using TNK in STABI patients from 2006 to 2014 in all the registries, whether it's a Vienna registry, Mayo Clinic registry, French FAST registry, Italian registry, or Indian registry TNK in STABI, and the French FAST MI registry in 2014 have shown very clearly the safety and efficacy and superiority of thrombolytic therapy over primary PCI for practical and clinical application. Next slide. Italian registry was done almost 27,000 patients. Next slide. It has shown TNK is preferred as compared to PCI, Italian registry, and the data is very clear that pre-hospital thrombolysis with TNK is a real opportunity for timely perfusion, which was mentioned somewhere in 2006. Next slide. TNK preferred as compared to primary PCI, Italian registry, to show the ST resolution as well as the improvement in the ejection fraction. TNK in STABI, the Indian registry of 50,200 patients, 722 centers, has shown the success rate is up to a tune of 96.5% in less than 3 hours and 96% 3 to 6 hours. This is very important information by our own registry data from India. Indian TNK registry also showed that the mortality rate is significantly reduced in less than 3 hours to 1.1%. Next, Indian TNK registry in STABI has also shown the morbidity data is much less with the TNK as compared to primary PCI. Next slide. We see here the TNK in STABI by French FAST registry in 2014. Next slide. To show very clearly pre-hospital thrombolysis is superior as compared to in-hospital thrombolysis, and in-hospital thrombolysis is superior as compared to primary PCI. Next slide. French FAST registry is shown very clearly. This is shown in the graphic pattern in relation to age and time, in relation to morbidity like diabetes or no diabetes. We see here the stream data published in 2014. Next slide. 1 year mortality in pharmacoinvasive approach is almost same as primary PCI, and the cardiac mortality is also less in the pharmacoinvasive approach